Hi everybody, today I'm here with the beautiful Anna Feldman. Now she is a wonderful inspiration to many people in the world because she, from my own experience, gives people a voice when they don't have one to speak and represent themselves live in social media and in other ways. So and it's becoming a movement that she's a part of. So, Anna, what lights you up most about the movement of people stepping up into visibility?
Oh my goodness, Shona, thank you so much. You know that this is a topic that I can speak about for hours. I'm just really lit up and excited that people like you and me now have an opportunity at this time in history to really take up space, to really be seen and really be heard. And at the deepest level, I'm excited and lit up that by doing so, by actually claiming our power, claiming our stories, claiming our voice, and making that visible, a very, very deep healing gets to happen collectively. Because I believe that shame and fear and, the kind of, I don't want to say self-doubt because in a way, that's okay. We can doubt ourselves, but the kind of lower vibrations get to be transformed when we get visible, when we have our voice and we find the platforms and the people, the communities that will help us to shine our light in the world. And I'm excited because I feel like what we're doing here right now is giving people like myself, I'm not famous. I haven't authored a book yet. I'm not an international bestseller. And, I don't make millions of dollars. Yet I know that I have a message around visibility that needs to be heard. I've really got to that point where not only have I claimed my value, but now my work is to really impart to others out there that they have phenomenal value. They have no idea how their story, their visibility, their taking up space will play a massive part in transforming our planet in only the unique way that they can.
Absolutely. And, you do it so beautifully because, many of us have kind of backgrounds that are quite hindering. And we really have to push ourselves, and it's through example that we inspire others, and that is at the core of you as well, that inspiring people through example, isn't it?
Well, I hope so. I think that my own story, having been born in the former USSR, in the former Soviet Union, and having escaped as a political refugee when I was only a little girl, I was only 1.5 when we actually moved to Italy in a transition camp. And then we were absorbed into a very small community in New Zealand, a Jewish community. And raised as an immigrant and going through that journey of feeling like I don't belong, struggling as many immigrants do with inferiority and the types of, I would even say trauma that I went through as a child, feeling very disempowered, to then growing up in Australia. We moved to Australia when I was 12, and I went through 7 different schools. And I had an experience just as I was coming into my womanhood in high school where I was severely bullied by, the popular guy who I had been dating and who I broke up with, and must have committed a mass crime because in doing so, the entire posse, how cruel kids can be, turned against me. And in doing so, they didn't realize that it was a compound of all of the hidden trauma and shame that I had grown up with, then resulted in physically hiding myself in libraries, in places where I couldn't be found and identified and seen, so that therefore I couldn't be bullied and humiliated. And then that resulted in such a deep a pattern for hiding myself that my own body turned on me physically, as the body will do, right? We turn, like, a lot of our pain ends up being turned on ourselves as toxicity, and our body will create all kinds of dis-ease. And my body, interestingly, created an autoimmune condition which deleted, literally depigmented my skin. My beautiful olive skin started becoming white in patches. And so, as you can imagine, a woman in her, late teens, early 20s, developing a very visible disfiguring skin condition that was very much cosmetic, thankfully. And, I'm working with the physical aspects of it, but the cosmetic aspects of it were quite traumatic to my own visibility. And you can only imagine that it gave me even more validation and evidence to hide myself and play small. Now, for an intrinsically confident young lady who, by all intents and purposes, really should be very visible and outspoken, I found lots of sophisticated ways to stay hidden and small because of this condition that simply was a manifestation of all of the beliefs, all of the reasons that I should keep my mouth shut and really play small and not believe in myself and my message. So I hope, coming back to your question, because it's so important, I hope and can only pray that my own story of stepping into my power, claiming my story, because I still have this skin condition. I have it all over maybe 70 to 80% of my body. In fact, I think I am the poster child for somebody to be speaking about visibility, because as a woman particularly, where we really attribute a lot of our value to our aesthetic look, our sensuality, our looks, and, our skin in a way, how we're perceived superficially. I really hope that my own story will inspire many, many people out there who maybe perceive that they're flawed in some way, not valuable in some way, and don't have what it takes in some way to step into their power and share their gift and their brilliance with the world, because they really do. If I can, you can, they can. I just know it at a cellular level.
Yeah, and that's absolutely what I've connected with about you, and why you're an important voice in the summit itself. And what I'm so pleased about is the fact that it is a platform where those that wouldn't normally be heard are stepping up and showing up, and with such wonderful and beautiful messages like yours, just such an inspiration. And what comes across very clearly is your passion for what you do and your passion for inspiring others. And, what has you in that passionate space of supporting people in the online community and sharing? What grabbed you?
Well, together with everything that I've already shared with you, I think it's just that I've seen so clearly that we, the people that traditionally haven't had a voice and haven't had a platform or a medium to share their message, I can see so clearly that we have been born for these times, that in a sense, we have been training for lifetimes as the messengers, as the people here to transmute the dysfunction in our world, because we now have the freedom. There's been that much disruption to media that we now can see through exactly what you and Heather and the team, it's such a celebration, Shona, what you're creating, because you are the manifestation of everything I could have ever dreamt up, that people like us now have the platform to speak to the masses. There are no longer the kind of gatekeepers that there traditionally have been in media. Like I'm not being edited. You're not creating, a middleman and so on and so forth between me and the audience. I now get to speak to the people who will resonate with my message. And it's those people that get to choose who they want to consume as media. So it is our responsibility, and I really see it as us, as being the collective, being the custodians of the media now. So how could I not be excited that we get to totally take over? I mean, I see it sort of light workers, world domination. In the most positive way. We get to speak our truth. We get to raise the vibration of the media space. And you and I both know, and all of us know, that the media has had its reign over us for way too long, and it is dismantling as we speak with social media particularly. And I couldn't be more excited than to be creating spaces and programs and processes to support people to step into their authentic presence, their authentic voice, to get congruent with what their message is, because we can come into this space and feel so on fire to share our message, our truth, our wisdom, our reflections in the world. But we can also be very confused and very anxious and insecure about how to bring that across in a way that will touch our audience and truly create an impact, a positive impact, and a genuine concrete manifestation out there in the world, which is our deepest longing, because it's not just about getting on a megaphone and just speaking. It's about creating real change. So the clearer we can become in our message, the more confident we can feel in ourselves at the deepest level, the more educated and skilled we can become at expressing ourselves in the social media space, to not be perfect, but to really claim our authenticity and to refine that really takes safe spaces. And that's what I want to do. I want to create those safe spaces to kind of bridge people from where they are now to I call it like becoming a social media megastar in the sweetest possible way, in the most authentic possible way. We need that journey to feel very safe and very authentic and very grounded, so that when we do go out there to make positive impact, we can be very, very potent, just as we are.
Yeah, because that's what it is, isn't it? It's about claiming power and claiming your right to be heard, which many are nervous about. They're not sure they want to take up the space, if you like, and they're nervous about it, and they're like, oh, I have a message, but I don't know whether I should do this, that, or the other. What do you suggest to them as a key piece of information to give them confidence to show up?
This is such a powerful conversation, and I really want to slow down for this, because it's so important that we get this. If we are going to step into visibility, if we are going to claim our voice and speak our truth and truly liberate ourselves and others at the deepest level, we need to make peace with the fact that not everyone will like us, not everyone will approve of us, not everyone will accept us. In fact, we have to smile, like you and I both are, in the face of the challenge, right? The adversity, right? The pushback that we're going to get when we start to show up differently to how we always have, because we are going to shine that light in the world to all of those people who yet haven't. and don't have the courage. We are going to trigger people. We are going to push buttons, and we are going to make people feel seriously uncomfortable as we start to change the status quo. So the first thing we need to do is fully unhook from all kinds of criticism and all kinds of praise. Because if we are hooked in to any kind of reaction from others that is not stemmed from a very deep level of self-worth and self-acceptance and self-approval of self, then we will forever be moving forwards and back, in and out, contracting, extracting from the true cause, the purpose, the big why of what we're here to do, our soul's work on the planet. So unfortunately, there's no magic pill. There's no cutting corners. We have to do this together and make this decision that it is non-negotiable. That our self-expression, our stepping into visibility, our becoming all that we are born to be, our manifesting our highest destiny, which is a journey of emergent journey of becoming ourselves day by day, moment by moment, breath by breath, is no longer determined by anything outside of ourselves. And that is the key to living a fully expressed life. And I'm excited about it, as you can see.
Yes, so am I. We're very excited, yeah, as you can see, big grins everywhere. But yes, what you made a clear point there was the, to not be attached, to have no attachment to anything, to simply flow unapologetically in your truth, and regardless of other people, still keep showing up regardless, to put your message out without any expectation, because that is just as detrimental as anything else. If you expect something and you don't get it, then you go into a hole. So no expectation, and just simply flow. And that's what you do so beautifully, Anna. I've noticed, I've watched you on a number of occasions, and you just get into your stride and away you go. And you just vocalize so beautifully, very clearly.
Mona, can I add something here that I think is really important for all of us, is that it's often the people closest to us that will really affect our expression. And I want to share with you and whoever's listening that I have a mother who to this day will not recognize any of my achievements. If I have a win, particularly in the space of visibility, my own mother will be the first to just change the subject, divert attention, simply not give me any airtime. Now, it's interesting. She's been the inspiration for everything that I am and everything that I do to this day. It's so fascinating to me that I spent half my life trying to heal that mother wound of feeling forever not good enough, or too much, or too little, or not safe around the very person who was supposedly supposed to give me all of that foundational confidence and certainty in who I was in the world. I spent half my life healing that. And then the rest of my life is in absolute celebration of what I've become because of her. And I think it's so important that in addition to making peace with the, triggers, as I was saying, that will come in expressing ourselves, it is so important that we start celebrating all of our challenges, all of our wounds, all of the reasons, all of the people, all of the so-called enemies that have shown up in our life as heroes, as the reason why we must become all that we're here to be. I wasn't shown the way. I wasn't given a microphone. God knows I could be here the next hour to talk about all of the incidents that happened in my life that would give me good reason to keep my mouth shut. But I will not, in celebration of my life and my voice and my freedom and my sovereignty. So I implore, I encourage, I celebrate you out there who is listening. I celebrate all of the people, all of the obstacles, all of the crazy circumstances that we have found ourselves in this life that have given us even more grist for the mill, even more reason, even more fire and passion to do this work, not only for ourselves, but for those that have yet not found their confidence, found their voice, found their, just that little doorway to be able to show up and become themselves fully.
Yeah, and that's what I can see. You're going to have people queuing up for your support in that. Because you just put it across so beautifully, and it's so true. And I resonate very much with what you've just said myself on my own journey as well, and many others do. The people that you think will support you the most quite often support you the least, and you have to work through all the stuff in order to just shine out and vocalize. And it just, I'm sure you'll agree with me, because you just kind of go along with it for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, look at this. Out you go.
Painful. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just channeling it, redirecting where we've been placing our attention, where we've been giving away our power, where we've been completely in an illusion, in a story that is not inspiring anymore. It's when we actually take that 30,000 foot view and we witness what the heck has been going on, and we get furious and passionate and ignited, and we're done. And we draw a line in the sand together. Together we rise. It's such an exciting time because we are waking up one another in this conversation right now. Energetically, I can feel it in my body. And I can feel you. It's like there's something happening right now, and this energy just wants to go somewhere else, right? And it's towards the light.
Yeah.
We're done with channeling our energy towards darkness and pain. We collectively want to channel it to where it has power, to be a change maker. And each and every single one of us is required.
Yeah. And every single one of us, everybody in this world has an important voice to share. Everybody has their own aspect, their own beauty to share. And what we're offering here is the core of the beauty that's there in this world, to show you that authenticity, that light. That's what we're about. It's just being genuine and just showing up as you. And it's just beautiful.
What a blessing. What a blessing. It's an idea whose time has come, and the time is now. And we are together birthing a new world. a new kind of media, a new kind of self-expression, a new kind of transformation. And it's available to everyone.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that it's happening concurrently to this inner waking up that's happening, I believe, within everyone, because we know this to be true. We sense that we have something so important to share in the world. We are just starting to now recognize that there are these opportunities for us to be able to actually do it. And before this time, people didn't know what to do with it, where to go with it, who to talk to about it. And now we have this. And that is the magic that we're creating now. It's this convergence of power, human potential, and it's just exciting.
Yeah, it is. And what's beautiful about it is the fact that it is the people showing up. And that just makes me glow inside, because it's not the special ones, it's not any hype or anything. It's the genuine people from all over the world coming together with a message that's pure, and inspiring, and just so the rest of the world can just wake up and be their own light as well, and learn what it is to be.
It's exquisite.
Yeah.
And it's everything that I could have ever dreamed of. So I just bow to you, and I bow to Heather and everybody who has come together to play their part in this. I know we are collectively at the beginning, just at the beginning of something so extraordinary. Our minds cannot even imagine where this is going to go. And I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
On the end, because your message is just so powerful, and your claiming of your power and the way that you're speaking to people, that's what I can feel. It's really kind of making me go, whoo, the energy inside, the way that I can feel how the people are feeling it, and yeah, you're really are an important part of the core. Your voice is powerful, and I'm so very grateful to you for voicing it here, for showing up here, and being such an important part in the restoration and rejuvenation of the humanity whole, and giving your people their voice, because that is what you do, just so purely and simply, just by showing up in your own way, the way that you have. You simply just draw people and inspire people to, you're almost like the Pied Piper. You can inspire people to come to follow you to do it. How do I do that? And that's your, and you just put it across so well as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shona. I would not want to be anywhere else right now. I honestly feel like I am just born for this. And I feel that each of us have that sense now that we were born for this, and we don't want to miss this opportunity. We just don't want to miss this opportunity, because it's never been better. It's never been a better time. And I'm just thrilled to be working alongside you and Heather. There is a level of authenticity and purity in what you're doing that is very rare in the world right now, particularly in media and social media. I couldn't be more excited to be aligned with your values, with your vision, and just the amount of fun and laughter and silliness and creativity and openness that you ladies have. It's so refreshing to be in this space with you. I can see all of us, like, we're just like, this is like a love fest on steroids. I know that, and I love that, and I'm reveling in it, and I'm energizing myself from it, because I have a lot of work to do. And if I don't have a place where I can fill up my cup that is pure and real and authentic, and it's effortless, and it's like there is an uncapped amount of energy that comes from your source, because it's pure and from the divine source and spirit. It fills me up so I can go and do my work out there, where I've got to get my hands dirty. And there's all sorts of waters that I have to swim through and navigate to be myself, to be confident, to be who I need to be in the world. And it's not easy for me every day to wake up and do this work. But if I can come back and fill my cup up here, I know that I can face whatever it is that I will face in my days, weeks, months, and years ahead. And that is what inspires me, that we each have access to this now. So again, thank you for staying up almost 24/7, being relentless, being passionate, being committed, and staying close and connected to source yourself, to be able to channel this through at the vibration that you do. It's very, very important. Thank
Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That you've just summed up everything that we are there. And I absolutely have nothing to add to that. You've just done a perfect description of all that we are and all that we offer, and I'm so glad that you have connected with that of us, and I'm so overjoyed to share you with everybody in the world, and I'm absolutely certain they're going to be queuing up, but in order to queue up you have to connect with Anna. And you can find her credentials and ways to connect with her directly through our website, itsatoughworldouthere.com, and you'll connect with her personally through there, and she will, I'm sure, be very, very pleased and instant in getting back to you.
Very excited. I'm very excited. Thank you so much, Shona. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you.
I love you too. And thank you very much for being with us today.